in the title game.
Just another day at the office here in the Mid-South Conference, huh, Jason? Another amazing matchup here setting up for this semifinal Monday.
Rogers and Glover will tap it up, and this semifinal is underway, and Turner will have it in the backcourt. You will see Campbellsville really operate in a 2-3-like zone. I call it an amoeba zone because they don't stop moving in it. They will look to trap at every instance. And immediately on the first possession, Lindsey Wilson turns it over as Jackson could not handle the pass from Glover inside.
Active hands for Campbellsville. Good disruptive effort, and they're going to get an opportunity here to score first.
Pettigo will run the offense for Campbellsville. She is a pass-first guard, and that'll be interesting to see where does the points come from the guard spot with Lexi Lake coming off the bench here to start, as Shepard can score at times, but much prefers to defer as well. Here is Pettigo. The freshman will take a 17-footer, and it's off the iron. Good rebound inside by Oldham. Rebounding will be a factor in this one as Lindsey Wilson nearly turns it over again, but it finds its way to Reagan Turner. Her first shot is off the iron. A helter-skelter pace, that's exactly what Campbellsville wants.
Lindsey Wilson handled it relatively well, though.
Sammy Rogers in transition. She's a good three-point shooter. Her first is off the iron. Mentioned in the first matchup, 23 offensive rebounds for Campbellsville in that one. Lindsey Wilson has to do better than that on the defensive glass here if they want any chance to knock off Campbellsville.
Great Glover, a walking double-double out there. Got to get her going early.
Yeah, 13 double-doubles on the season. Elbow jumper too strong, and Rogers has the board off the miss from Rosemary Jackson. Campbellsville defensively will look to trap any chance they get if you hold the ball. Nice cut inside. Gregory gets called for the walk, and that's a good call.
Indeed it was. Just a little hesitant there. She wasn't quite sure where she was on the floor, and unfortunately for her, she got whistled.
Get the sense a minute and a half in, these teams a little excited to be out here on the floor. Neither team really has settled down thus far in this one, but both teams have good veteran players. That should come. Here is Hall, the freshman, poked away from behind, but right to Jackson. She had it poked from behind, and that's the thing also you have to be aware of with Campbellsville. They're looking to the reach around, the poke from behind, any chance you get. You have to be aware 360 degrees around yourself. Otherwise, they will come and poke it loose. They average 15 steals a game.
Savannah Gregory was there on that one. Lest we forget, Jason, she was last year's Mid-South Defensive Player of the Year.
Here is the pass over to the far side. Hall now extra pass to Jackson. 15-footer is off the back iron, and good block out inside of Glover by the aforementioned Savannah Gregory. Both teams struggling right now to really find any kind of offensive rhythm, but it is early, and these are two excellent teams that both have good shots to get to the Fab Four. Pettigo works to the far side. This is Gregory now posting up as Pritchett. Pritchett, nowhere to go. Fall away from 10. Can't get the bounce, and Glover eventually pulls down the board for the Blue Raiders. She can do this at times, bring it up the floor, but then got sloppy with the pass. Shepard up ahead. Pettigo has the first points of the game, 2.5 minutes in.
Great transition offense there for Campbellsville. They can score in the blink of an eye. Hold on to your seats, folks. These two teams just getting going.
And there's
a double dribble.
Just lurking in the area. They can do that. And Sydney Hall, the freshman, with a turnover. She had 6 of those in the lone regular season matchup. There's one there. Haley Eisen now will check into the game for Lindsey Wilson. She's a grad transfer from Georgetown College. She takes over for Rosemary Jackson.
Really stepping it up there as far as fighting for not just a conference championship, but maybe a national championship. Georgetown, not the best of years as Gregory knocks that in. But I think Eisen's made a good decision, and she's thriving in this Lindsey Wilson squad.
Gregory knocks down her 28th three of the season, and 5 zip Campbellsville, and now a turnover as Oldham airmails Haley Eisen. And Lindsey Wilson right now just rushing themselves a little too much early on. But again, that's exactly what Campbellsville wants.
Easy to do against the Tigers. Again, that's a big reason why they're able to put up as many points as they do. Number 1 in the NAIA. A lot of that comes to just simply making the other team speed up.
Good hustle there from Glover. And no, she lost on her own. I thought it was poked away from behind by Rogers. So it's another Lindsey Wilson turnover. Can't really do anything offensively if you can't secure the ball across midcourt. The Blue Raiders sloppy in the early going.
Got to get to Reagan Turner. Let her bring the ball up the court.
Yeah, good call.
Glover has no reason dribbling like that.
Pettigo working there, freshman against freshman. Now back out, Rogers. She will let it fly from out there. Rogers, one of the most improved players in the Mid-South Conference. Pritchett barely kept that pivot foot down. Here is Pettigo. Good pass across the way. Gregory, that is way off the entire way, and Glover has another rebound.
Good job there by Glover. Another board for her. That's 3 here in the early going.
To your point, Nate, let the senior Reagan Turner handle the offense. I would have to imagine she's going to handle the ball the majority of the time on the offensive sets.
As she should. Again, one of the most electric players in the Mid-South. Watch out. Oh, what a shot there from Bree Glover.
Just her 6th 3 of the season, but it gets Lindsey Wilson on the board. And on the other side, Gregory with the blow-by of Glover can't finish the reverse lay-in. And now we have a foul going to be called against Campbellsville. The near side official was thinking about a tie-up. The official on the end line had a better view. It'll be a foul called on Savannah Gregory, our first foul of the ball game. And Jordan Stevens will come in now for Lindsey Wilson, taking the place of City Hall. Stevens, a freshman out of Russell Springs.
That was a hustle foul there on number 13 for Campbellsville and Gregory. I mean, honestly, I'm okay with that if I'm Coach Colvin. That happens sometimes. You get a hand in there in the wrong spot. It's easy to do. Still, I like she's setting the tone early that she's not going to give anything up. No loose ball is safe when Campbellsville is on defense.
And the thing is with Campbellsville, in most years, this year included, they'll go 10-12 deep. Foul trouble is rarely a concern for the Campbellsville Tigers. So not a bad idea to take the risk there, but a foul is picked up. Gregory does stay on the floor with that foul. And now Reagan Turner is bumped as she's trying to get it into the front court. Pettigo and Shepard in the area. And they will call Bailey Pettigo with the foul. That is her first. Lindsey Wilson still having issues just crossing the midcourt line. And that's the thing Campbellsville does. They start with this pressure right from the opening tap, and they don't take their feet off the gas until the final buzzer. They don't stop with the movement and the trapping in this zone. Good pass in the middle. Here is Eisen. Just likes to bully her way down low. She did that for years at Georgetown. Converts with the right hand there, and we are tied at 5.
Great body control there, feeling the pressure coming from the Tigers and still having the wherewithal to put it through.
Here is Gregory, now far side to Madison Shepard. And you've got Shepard and Pettigo, 2 defensive stalwarts out there. Neither really look for their own shot. Rogers, nice drive, can't finish with the left hand. Glover rips down another rebound. Up ahead, Oldham leaking out behind the defense. Good back pass to Turner. And beautiful finish in transition. Turner, the Mid-South Conference Player of the Year on the board.
Reagan Turner able to stop on a dime. Great unselfish play. Oldham could have taken it on her own. However, she dishes it off to the senior, lets her finish it off.
7 straight for the Blue Raiders, and they have the lead midway through the first quarter. Here is Rogers. She'll have a height advantage here on Haley Eisen of about 3 inches to Gregory on the baseline and back. Shot clock already down to 5. Here is Pettigo working against Stevens. Backing her down. That's deflected out to Gregory. Has to let it fly off the iron, and Turner has the board. Good defense that time for the Blue Raiders. Not a lot of movement from the Tigers.
Not a huge fan of that offensive possession. Pettigo kind of backed down her opponent, but didn't have really anywhere to go with it. Good defense overall for Lindsey Wilson.
Can't sit and hold the ball too long. If you're facing Campbellsville, they will come at you and put the pressure on you and force those traps.
Stevens is going to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, she had 8 turnovers in the first game between these two. Glover, extra pass to the far side. Oldham way off the mark, and it's eventually pulled in by Gregory. Would have been a shot clock violation anyway had she not secured it. 6 minutes into this semifinal, and Campbellsville lurking and looking for a tie or the lead with a bucket. This is Gregory. Now to Pritchett, faking the pass down low to Rogers, back out. Pettigo wants the lead. She has the lead.
Pure. You give her that kind of room, Jason, you got to take it every time. And I know she's a pass-first point guard. They've got a steal right there.
Up ahead, Madison Shepard lays it in, and it can turn just that quickly. Bailey Pettigo hits just her second 3 of the season, and now Madison Shepard with the bucket. And so Campbellsville with 5 straight, and that'll be an offensive foul all day long, and Stevens fires the ball away in frustration. She can be upset there with the play, but that's an easy call.
Pritchett's got nothing to worry about there as we reach a timeout in this break. I mean, she's got the body position. She's bigger than Stevens. Why not take that charge? Great job by her, and that's a big reason. That heart is a big reason right now why Campbellsville leads by 3.
5-0 to start for Campbellsville, followed by 7 in a row for Lindsey Wilson, and now Campbellsville with the last 5 as we are at the break. 3:19 to go in the first. The Tigers lead by 3. Hey, H&W Sports Shop specializes in team sales to schools, colleges, and organizations while still providing local retail sales and service in Campbellsville and surrounding communities. Ronnie Horde and his son Sean have built the business with unparalleled customer service provided by a talented and knowledgeable staff with many years of experience in team and retail sporting goods and apparel sales and service. H&W Sports Shop, now with locations in Campbellsville and Bowling Green, Kentucky, is proud to be a corporate sponsor and the official award supplier for the Mid-South Conference. And at the end of the game, our Kelsley Wilkinson will speak to the H&W Sports Shop player of the game. Campbellsville with the lead here, 10-7. Again, the winner advances to tomorrow afternoon's early evening, I should say, championship game against Thomas More. That game will tip at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. What are you seeing here early right now? I think the pace right now favors Campbellsville.
It does, but I like what Lindsey Wilson's been able to do. They've been able to hang with them through the first, 7 minutes here or so far in this one. I'm liking at least what Wethington and his girls have. Now the question is, can they maintain that over 40 minutes? I don't know. We'll wait and find out.
Turnovers already a factor for Lindsey Wilson, but still hanging in there. 7 points for Campbellsville off 7 Lindsey Wilson turnovers here in not even the first 7 minutes. This is Lauren Lee with the ball into the game for the first time. It's essentially a shift change here for Campbellsville. 5 new players in. One of those, Sarah Sutton, fires it up there. Rebound pulled up. Can't be put in by McGeorge. And eventually Glover off with a 2-on-1. She has Turner on the right. Good bounce feed. And Turner can't get the finish to go, though. That's a rarity and a gift for Campbellsville.
Bree Glover willed that basketball to go their way. Let's see if Lake makes him pay.
Lake is a good outside shooter, but can't get that one to go. And Haley Eisen eventually swallows it up. Sydney Hall with it after coming back into the game outside of the timeout. Reagan Turner with the ball in her hand. She will not see the bench very often, if at all, in this semifinal. Good pass to the baseline. Mid-range game not there from Jackson. She hit several of those in the quarterfinal win against Pikeville, but that one too strong.
Wide open. That's great shot selection still by Jackson. I mean, you have to take that in that spot, make it a 1-point ball game. And, hey, maybe on this possession, something will go their way. Just keep chipping away. That's a good look.
They get the ball back after Glover blocked the shot of Lee inside. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lindsey Wilson with the ball, trailing by 3. Here is Eisen from the outside. Not much of a three-point threat. Good pass inside. Hall all alone down low. Little dipsy-do with the finish there, and Sydney Hall, the freshman, on the board.
Lovely feed there from Eisen. The bounce pass to the freshman, and the freshman didn't let her teammate down.
Good start to the game for Haley Eisen. She'd been struggling coming in. Fall away inside there from Faith Lake is not there. Glover has another rebound. She is cleaning up the glass right now for Lindsey Wilson. That's her 5th of the team's 8. Here is Eisen on the outside. Again, a bit out of her range. Hall to the far side. Turner has to take it. Book it.
Lovely shot there from Reagan Turner, the kid from down Tompkinsville way. That 3 powered by a Dovey Burger. Love it.
Her third 34-3 of the game. And away from the ball, we had a foul call on Rosemary Jackson of Lindsey Wilson. And it's her first and the team's second. Malia Oldham into the game. Bree Glover takes a rest for the first time. Good active minutes for Glover in her return to the lineup. Look fresh.
Lindsey Wilson right here, 2-up-2. That's her first foul. They're playing as physical as they have been. I'm loving that, especially Bree Glover. No fouls here through 9 minutes as she gets a break before the quarter intermission.
Lexi Lake to her sister Faith, now back out. Sutton from the elbow, good. Soft touch from the sophomore from Scottsville. She had 14 points off the bench in game number 1. She has her first 2 here, and we are tied at 12. Up ahead for Lindsey Wilson behind the defense. It is put up and put in. That's Olivia Perry with the score.
Too easy there. I mean, that's a perfect outlet pass and finish. Oh, and a good job there on the other end for Shepard. Scratch that, Lauren Lee.
Lauren Lee has been aggressive here looking for her shot since coming into the game. The foul is on Rosemary Jackson. That is her second, and that will immediately spring Haley Eisen off the bench, and Jackson will have to take a seat. So Lindsey Wilson now going to give up some size down low. Eisen maybe a bit stronger than Jackson, but you lose some height. And now Bree Glover stay on the bench, doesn't last long. She comes back into the game for Olivia Perry.
kind of evening out that size, right? You do lose a little bit bringing Ison in there, but you gain that heart and that effort with Glover on the floor. And the thing that impresses me most about Bree Glover is once she secures that rebound, a lot of bigs, when they put the ball on the deck, everyone gets real nervous, right, that they're going to lose it. She has a quick first dribble here as Hall throws it off the glass. I really like Bree Glover and what she's been able to do for Lindsey Wilson.
She has been energized in her return. In transition, though, trying to challenge a shot there. Rogers couldn't quite get it. Hall tapped it in the air instead of grabbing the ball, and Campbellsville will get a second look at it. Here is Lee. Now back up. This is Pritchett and back. We're down to 5 seconds. Rogers on the right wing working against Turner. Going to try and work her way inside. A lot of contact. Offensive foul on Sammy Rogers as Haley Ison draws the charge.
Impressive stuff there for Haley Ison. She saw Courtney Pritchett do it on one side. She said, hey, I can do that just as well. Nice job.
1.5 on the clock. See what Lindsey Wilson elects to do here, and Turner from the near side will let that go. That was after the horn, off the glass, won't count. But nevertheless, a very entertaining first quarter. Ebbs and flows, a lot of runs back and forth, and Campbellsville, after one, leads Lindsey Wilson by a score of 15-14. Crossroads IGA is your neighborhood market designed to bring easy access to grab-and-go meals, locally sourced produce, quality meats, and all the grocery essentials needed to keep your pantry stocked. Customers in a rush can pick up healthier prepared meal options from our fresh-to-go section, all while stopping in for their morning cafe, coffee, or that lovely cappuccino. Fresh specialty items, friendly employees, and unparalleled customer service are all part of the Crossroads concept. So check them out online at myiga.com or follow on Twitter at Crossroads IGA. Took Lindsey Wilson, Nate, a little while to settle down in this game. Early turnovers let Campbellsville get out early, but I thought they handled themselves. Lindsey Wilson did better over the last 5 minutes.
I agree, and I think it's just a matter of settling down, right? They know that there's a lot on the line here today. Last year, Lindsey Wilson, when they got to this point in the Mid-South tournament, ended up losing to eventual champion in Shawnee State. That was heartbreaking for them. They're right back here in a position to get back and start making some moves, right? I mean, they've got the tools to win this conference championship. They just have to put it all together, and I think after the first 5 minutes have passed, the rust gets shaken off. They look more comfortable out there. They have 11 turnovers there in that first quarter. 7 turnovers, in that first quarter, and I think that's going to be a little cleaner here in the second quarter. I'm looking, though, at how how Campbellsville comes out of this break. They're usually stronger at the beginning of games and after the halftime breaks. That's usually when their defense is sparking on all cylinders. Will that be the case here?
Similar story to the first game. When Lindsey Wilson's been able to get set up in the half-court offense, they've been able to execute. They're shooting 46% in after the first quarter, despite those 7 turnovers. Meanwhile, Campbellsville struggling. They're now 6 out of 20, and Bree Glover has already her 7th rebound. Turner right through the defense, out finds to Ison. Stevens down, floater from 8. Good.
It was open, might as well take it. High percentage shot there, just 8 feet out.
You don't get very many open looks against Campbellsville. Got to take them when they're there. Stevens with the soft touch. The freshman is on the board. Blue Raiders back in front by 1. This is Pritchett trying to work through. Had a size advantage down low, and Glover came flying through to try and block that ball away. And Glover will be called for her first foul.
Just 1 foul through about 10 minutes worth of play. I'm all right with that on Bree Glover's ledger. Of course, she doesn't want that, but she'd be happy with no fouls if she can keep playing as physical as she has as Pritchett knocks that through. But again, Bree Glover's been the difference maker in this game, and that's why they're tied up right now with 16.
Courtney Pritchett's an 83% shooter on the season. You look at the way the Lindsey Wilson roster is made up. Glover is really their one true post player that they have. Other ones can step in there from time to time. Oldham, Jackson. Occasionally we saw Olivia Perry there in the first quarter, but she is the one. Ison, good ball control, finds it out to the far side. Oldham, way too strong, and Rogers eventually secures it for Campbellsville, and now Petta goes off and running a minute into the second quarter. Shepard down low.
Good take.
Banks it in.
Great take there from Shepard. A quick strike from Campbellsville.
Shepard now with 4. The Campbellsville lead is at 3. Stevens gets around Shepard there in transition to the far side and Ison. Again, Haley Ison just 4 of 7 from 3 on the season. really looking to facilitate. Stevens wide open in the far corner. Ison doesn't look that way and rattles home a 17-footer.
Looks like she shot put that one in, but hey, doesn't matter how pretty it is. It matters if it goes, and it went.
Ison coming into this game in her last 6 games was shooting just 25% from the field. She's 2 for 2 to start this semifinal. Rogers, a 3, no. And Pritchett taps it out to Pettigo. The third offensive rebound of the game for Campbellsville. They had 23 in the regular season matchup. Pettigo back to Pritchett behind. Glover doesn't challenge. Pritchett says thank you very much. And now a timeout called by Lindsey Wilson as Courtney Pritchett knocks down just her 7th 3 of the season in 13 tries. So Glover playing the odds there, but Pritchett knocks it down, and Campbellsville now has a 4-point lead as Coach Wethington calls for time. Roding Insurance Group, founded in 1921, is one of the largest independently owned insurance and financial service agencies in the Cincinnati tri-state area and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. The Mid-South Conference would like to recognize Roding Insurance Group for their outstanding support of our student athletes, coaches, and administrators. Campbellsville starting to settle in now, starting to get some better looks on the offensive end as they've knocked down a few in a row here to start the second quarter here. And better ball movement, I would also say, in this quarter thus far from Campbellsville.
Yeah, surprise. They only have 1 assist so far on the game. When you look at their season average, I mean, they're just an unreal squad on that side. They average 20 per game, nearly 21 per game. So far, through 12 minutes, they're at 1. Great job there by Lindsey Wilson on the perimeter, not allowing Pettigo to get into her groove, not allowing Sammy Rogers to get the open looks, and then without good ball movement like Campbellsville hasn't had for a majority of the game, better as of late, like you were saying, they haven't been able to knock them down from downtown like they can. Currently 2 of 7 from that range, and I don't know. I got to tip my cap to Lindsey Wilson on that one. I think that's more them playing well than Campbellsville just not getting it done.
Campbellsville leads the nation coming in assists per game at nearly 21 per game, but as Nate said, just 1 on 7 made baskets thus far. Make that 8 made baskets thus far in the game. Hall now over to Glover, working inside. Kind of lost her balance, and she'll get bailed out there with contact from Pritchett right there. Not a lot of contact, but enough to warrant the whistle. Pritchett called for her first, and Campbellsville's first of the quarter. It puts Bree Glover at the line, where she's a 68% shooter.
Bree Glover's got to be a better free throw shooter, or a good free throw shooter, if she's going to enjoy the amount of contact that she gets as she knocks in that first one. If you're going to be a big and you're going to be battling down low constantly like Bree Glover likes to do, you got to be solid at the charity stripe. Good shot there.
First game between these two, Bree Glover had just 3 points and 6 rebounds. She already has 4 points and 7 rebounds in this one, so that's also a good sign for the Blue Raiders. She also had 7 blocks in that first game between these two schools. Pritchett trying to drive on Glover inside, and that'll be an blocking foul called. Two officials couldn't decide, and they will count the basket.
That's a tough call there, but Pritchett staying strong all the way through, and she's not the one you want to give an and one opportunity to. It's almost like an automatic three-point play.
I think it was trying to determine whether the Lindsey Wilson defender was in the restricted area. But the foul there is on Bree Glover, and that's her second. And Bree Glover's asking, how was that on me? And I agree with her. There was another Blue Raider there. I think it was Reagan Turner that was trying to draw the charge. And instead they called the foul on Glover. So an interesting development there. Glover looking at her bench, and Coach Wethington furious with Oldham, as Oldham just fired it away with really no intent right there. That's not, we talked about it earlier, Glover can handle the ball, but she's not the one you want bringing it up the floor. And they may actually discuss this now and change that foul on Glover.
And rightfully so. I mean, Reagan Turner was the one who wore, if it wasn't Turner, it was either her or Ison who wore that one.
I think they are going to go to the table and change the foul call here, and I think that's the right thing to do. Glover was in the area, but she was not the one trying to draw that foul. Hopefully see if we can get some clarification on this.
And props to the officiating crew being able to accept, some officiating crews across whatever level of basketball have too much pride, right, to change anything. Right. It's good to see that they're able to come back, say, okay, yeah, we might have missed that one or had the wrong number. It will be Reagan Turner who gets that foul put on her ledger, but good to see the officials willing to make the change.
And make the correct change at that. So Glover stays with just 1 foul. Reagan Turner has now picked up one. Pritchett wants her second three, way off the mark, and Sydney Hall has the rebound, and she is fouled by Gregory. And Gregory now, for the second time in the first half, commits a foul 94 feet away from her own basket, and she'll head to the bench.
How about Sydney Hall going in there and staying strong on that rebound? Love to see the little freshman getting in there, staying strong, not letting the former, again, Mid-South Defensive Player of the Year worry her. Excellent stuff.
But if you're Glover there, or excuse me, Gregory right there, you got to understand situation. You already have one foul. There's no need to reach in that particular area of the floor.
You do. That's Campbellsville ball, though. They're going to get aggressive. They're going to be over-aggressive at times. And I think still in the long run, Coach Colvin going to enjoy the spoils of that more than the defeats. Nice shot there.
The lost start of the mid-range game has found its way into the arms of Reagan Turner. She now has 7. That is a team high. Pritchett leads Campbellsville with 8. 25-21, and now a moving screen I think is going to be called here, and I think they're going to get Sammy Rogers with it as she was trying to clear space for Madison Shepard. That is her second and the team's third. So now Gregory and Rogers both with 2, and McGeorge will take the place now of Rogers.
If I'm Bree Glover, I am excited because right now Rogers is the only one with her length. I think that could even worry Bree Glover. But right now, fire away. She is going to be a dominant player through and through as long as Rogers and McGeorge are not on the floor at the same time. I think that she's got definitely the want advantage, right? And when I say that, it just means that she just flat wants it more than I think anyone else on the court.
I'm with you on that one. Lindsey Wilson turns it over for the 9th time, the second here in the quarter. 6:30 to go.
There it goes.
And now Campbellsville gives it right back, and now Shepard going to get called for a bump. That is her first and the team's 4th of the quarter already. So from here on out in the quarter, Lindsey Wilson will be shooting free throws on every foul. These are 2 of the best free throw shooting teams in America. Lindsey Wilson shoots 77% from the line, Campbellsville at 76%. Could be a real opportunity for Lindsey Wilson.
And again, Campbellsville getting aggressive with Bree Glover dribbling the basketball. I get you want to take it away from the big, just, again, unfortunate.
Here is Glover at the top of the key. 12 seconds to shoot. Here is Hall. Not a lot of ball movement right now. No penetration. Turner will try and change that. Hall now out with 5. The floater from 15. Good.
Yeah,
she is just a freshman. That's a veteran play.
Having that runner in your repertoire, something that players never develop even through 4 years of college. Seems like she's already got it right now.
5:50 to go in the half. Campbellsville now leading just by 2. Here is Shepard. Still got that up through the hands of Turner. And Glover just outfights everyone for her 8th rebound. She is relentless on that defensive glass. And again, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, that was going to be a key factor in this one for Lindsey Wilson. Right now they have a rebounding margin by 1. Touch pass over to Eisen, 18-footer, just a bit too strong. Right idea from Turner, and Eisen just couldn't connect on the open jumper. Pedigo slows it down now to Pritchett. And now an offensive foul on the drive. And it'll be a moving screen on McGeorge. It's her first and the team's 5th. It is a player control foul, so even though Campbellsville is at the 5-foul limit, Lindsey Wilson will not shoot a free throws. Sutton now returns for Campbellsville. Pritchett heads out. Lindsey Wilson, again, looking for a tie or the lead. Firing the ball ahead. Bad decision by Bree Glover. That ball was never going to get to Haley Eisen. Those are the types of turnovers you can't have against Campbellsville. It's Lindsey Wilson's 10th. Here is Faith Lake back out to Lauren Lee. She was aggressive in the first quarter. It continues in the second. Won't get the foul call here. The ball knocked out. They'll say McGeorge touched it last. And it's over to the Blue Raiders.
Big opportunity here for Lindsey Wilson. Got to get some space. I want to see them run their half-court offense, get the ball either A, to Reagan Turner, or B, I'd like to get Malia Oldham going here. She's a great shooter from downtown. Let's get something going from the wing.
Lindsey Wilson continues to utilize Bree Glover in the backcourt. I think, if anything, just to have size to throw over the top of that press. And now back to the top and Turner. 7 points for Turner, but rather quiet. Her offense has been rather spaced out here in the half. Oldham, beautiful feed inside to Eisen, and she is fouled by Lauren Lee. Mismatch down low as Eisen just way too strong for the freshman.
Big opportunity here. No one in her face. She's got 2 chances to tie this ball game up. Great job so far for Lindsey Wilson keeping pace with Campbellsville through nearly the first half of this ball game. I'm really impressed by it. I mean, in the first quarter we saw that they were at least sticking with them, and now another opportunity to tie. It seems like that first quarter wasn't quite a fluke.
Ison way too strong on the free throw, and she is an excellent foul shooter at 85%. Yeah, as we talked about, Lindsey Wilson knows when they can get set up in the half court, they can have success scoring against Campbellsville. Lindsey Wilson in this game, as Ison hits her 5th point, right now trailing by 1 because of the turnovers, but they're shooting nearly 53% from the field and holding Campbellsville to just 33%.
And they're going to need that to continue right now. I mean, the rebounding can increase a little bit, right? But I think that overall their shooting is going to be what the difference maker is in this one if they're going to upset Campbellsville.
Pritchett over to Sutton, trying to work her way through 2. Couldn't get it to go. Fought through and got her own rebound. That's a big play. Pritchett. Good. Give all the credit to Sarah Sutton on that play as she chased her own miss down, and Pritchett has her second 3 of the ball game. She now has 11, and now Lindsey Wilson gives it right back. Another careless turnover from the Blue Raiders. That is now their 11th.
And that's exactly what Campbellsville likes to do. You hit a big shot, you get right back in their face. They feed off momentum, and it causes Lindsey Wilson and every other team in the NAIA to throw the ball away. However, I will say throwing the ball away in that situation is better than giving up a steal, for example, considering at least your defense can get back in order and get back into shape, if you will.
Some careless turnovers here for Lindsey Wilson. Otherwise, they would almost assuredly have the lead in the game. Their offense is executed well in the half court. Here is Pritchett down the lane, swatted away by Glover, and she comes away with another board. She has been relentless on the defensive end here in the first half.
And no one at Stoutel Financial Arena is surprised. Incredible.
Here she is at the top of the key. Trap coming. She gets it off to Turner. Near side, this is Jackson. Jackson muscles her way up through Pritchett. Missed the shot. Down on the floor, Pritchett with it. It will be going the other way as a foul is going to be called here, and I think it's going to be on Reagan Turner, and that will be her second. Turner came in over the body of Pritchett right there, so she now picks up her second, and the Mid-South Conference Player of the Year will sit with those 2 fouls, and Jordan Stevens will take her place.
Nothing to be too worried about. She probably needed a breather anyway, so this is coming at a relatively, at least, opportune time for Lindsey Wilson.
Down by 4, so you want to keep in arm's reach with Turner on the bench. And actually, her stay is not going to be long on the bench. She's already back at the scorer's table. Pritchett backs out, hands off to Lee. Thought about the 15-footer. Now the movement over to Lexi Lake to her sister Faith. Down the baseline. Way too easy as Stevens opened her hips up in an easy baseline drive from Faith Lake. She's on the board.
She can do more than just shoot from downtown. Good work on the baseline and the finish.
Here is Sydney Hall. Into the middle to Stevens. A little bump from behind by Pritchett. Nothing warning a whistle, though. And back out to Oldham. 2:25 to go in the half. Lindsey Wilson trailing by now 6. Not a lot of dribble penetration here. Stevens will step in and knock down a 19-footer. Well done by the freshman. She now has 4.
The trajectory on that shot was marvelous. A beautiful looking shot, and it all still counts the same, 2 points.
She has a bright future ahead of her, averaging 7 points a game in her freshman season, and what a person to learn from in Reagan Turner this year. How about Lee on the other side? Glover might have gotten a piece of that, and it's eventually cleared way to Jordan Stevens. Stevens down the lane, back out. Hall lets it go. Way too strong, and she was near the NBA three-point line, if you will, and fired that one long. And it goes over to Campbellsville. Reagan Turner back in with those 2 fouls. And if I'm Campbellsville right now, I'm looking for 10 in black to see if I can hunt out that 3rd foul.
Be careful what you wish for, though. Reagan Turner is still some of the fastest hands in the conference. Wouldn't be surprised if she pokes one away. I don't know. It'll be a fun matchup.
99 seconds to go in the half. That ball was kicked on the baseline by Oldham. Looked like a keeper there, defending the net there. And of course, anybody follows Mid-South Conference athletics knows Lindsey Wilson has perennially one of the best women's soccer programs in America. Here's Pritchett out top. Glover giving her space. She's going to drive this time and finish. Courtney Pritchett came in averaging just 8 a game. She has 13 here in the half, and the lead back out to 6. And once again, Glover turns it over, and now Oldham commits a foul 70 feet from her basket, her first and the team's fourth.
Bree Glover getting excited over there on the sideline, racing down and kicking over another turnover. So not great here for Lindsey Wilson. Those are the kinds of things that will come back to haunt you. Those are the things that after the game you go back and look at the tape and make you cringe a little bit, just knowing the opportunities that have passed. Still plenty of time, though, for Glover and the rest of the squad to get back into it.
1:05 remaining. Here is Pritchett. Thought about her third three. Now kicks it out to Lee. Pritchett now will let it fly. Her third three of the half. Courtney Pritchett is lighting up Lindsey Wilson, and the lead is up to 9, under a minute to go in the half. Pritchett now already with a season-high 16 points. Jackson with the answer on the other end from the mid-range.
Great answer. There are plenty of Campbellsville fans here in the stands today. Needed something to quiet them down a little bit from the Lindsey Wilson side.
Sutton, bang! Campbellsville starting to feel it from the outside, and all of a sudden, the lead is 10 for the Tigers.
Got to get some sort of momentum here for Lindsey. Let's see if Turner can get it. Oh, no.
Jackson turns down the 15-footer and thinks about it. Now Glover out. She'll try and answer. That is short. Not the person he wants shooting the three. And now Campbellsville has it with 10 seconds. Lee into the front court. Is she aware of it? Pritchett is. She'll try and slip through. Back out to Lee. Got to get it up. She will. Yes! What a run by Campbellsville to close the half. It can happen that quickly with a team as talented offensively as Campbellsville, and they erupt in the final stages of the quarter, and all of a sudden, it's a 12-point lead at the break.
And Lindsey just shocked going into that locker room. Everything you didn't want to happen on the Lindsey Wilson side happened there within about, a minute and a half? Is that what we're saying? And that is just the unreal ability that Coach Colvin and her girls have over on that Campbellsville side.
An Lindsey Wilson will have the opening possession. And I think the first really 3-4 minutes here are going to be key for the Blue Raiders if they're going to get back into this game, because you have to figure Campbellsville right now leading by 12. They're sensing a chance for the knockout blow, and immediately a turnover off the first possession. Gregory inside, off the mark, and a late whistle comes in, and Glover will get called for her second foul of the ball game.
Yeah, it's too bad for Glover, but honestly, they should have been in that position in the first place. That's unfortunate ball control for Lindsey Wilson, and great job by Savannah Gregory taking advantage of it right out of the gate.
Yeah, not much mustard on that pass from Sydney Hall. Easy intercept there from the former Mid-South Conference Defensive Player of the Year. That honor this year going to Sylvia Veloso of the University of the Cumberlands.
And that was a well-deserved award, too, for Veloso.
Yes.
Probably the fastest hands in the entire Mid-South, maybe even the NAIA.
Pritchett inside. Couldn't get that one to go. Jackson tipping it up in the air to herself, and she'll push the pace, but doesn't have any numbers and wisely pulls it back, and Reagan Turner will take it over. Turner has to start, I think, asserting herself more as we go into the second half. She took just 5 shots in the first half. That's not enough for the reigning Player of the Year. Here she is, has to take it. Off the mark, though, no black shirt inside, so an easy rebound for Campbellsville as Lindsey Wilson continues to focus on getting back in transition as opposed to crashing the offensive glass. The Blue Raiders still without an offensive rebound. Pritchett inside. Somebody got lost. I think it was Malia Oldham, and Gregory was left all alone in the paint, and John B. Wethington needs a timeout. A complete breakdown defensively for Lindsey Wilson.
Unfortunate, again, that John B. Wethington has to call a timeout. He's only got 2 left in this game. That could be big down the line if they indeed want to jump back into this. And I know that it's not always going to be easy to take care of Campbellsville University when they come to town, but you know what is easy, Jason? Banking with Community Trust Bank. At Community Trust Bank, they offer a variety of personal checking account options, including 0 or low monthly maintenance fees, flex ATM and debit cards, and convenient access to 24-hour banking. Also, of course, during quarantine, this was even more important that they have mobile banking and internet banking with online bill payment options. For more information, visit them online at ctbi.com. That again, www.ctbi.com. Community Trust Bank is a valued partner and sponsor of the Mid-South. Transition game on point here in Game 2 of semifinal Monday, if I do say so myself.
I think right now part of the message from Coach Wethington is trying to get his team to get energized. They are flat coming out here in the first 1:11 of the second half, and you have to be really cranked up to an 11 to really go at a Campbellsville defense. So as we've talked about, and as has always been the case for Ginger Colvin, they will not turn it down from anything less than 11. You have to match it from the get-go. And Lindsey Wilson thus far to start the second half has not done that. Still just a minute 11 in, so a long way to go in the ball game. But you have to start picking it up right now.
Momentum has no clock.
There you go.
They can always start to get in the right direction, and Jason, that is not the right direction with that throwaway.
And even that right there, no significant pressure on Reagan Turner, and she still fired one into the table across the way there.
And again, this is a weird thing to think about, but in some situations, that's better than giving up the straight steal and score. At least then again, you can get back in your defense. Some teams actually could do it on purpose instead of giving up the easy two.
Lindsey Wilson changed to a 3-2 zone on that possession, and Pedigo couldn't connect on the three. Here is Hall, now up to Turner. Now with 3 defenders behind her, they have to take advantage. Oldham doesn't want the 3, takes a tough 2, and pulled down by Rogers. Oldham's got to take that 3-pointer there.
She's good at shooting the 3, too. That's what I don't understand, but a little hesitation there is not going to be what the doctor ordered against the Tigers.
That defender was never going to get there to challenge that shot. That's one she has to let go. 2 minutes into the third quarter, here is Pritchett. She has been the star here in the game. Madison Shepard going to try and drive. Good bullet pass across the far side. Rogers on the board for the first time off of a beautiful baseline feed from Madison Shepard.
Not a minute too soon either. Over 4 on the day from the field coming into that shot, and that ball nearly thrown away there, but good to see Rogers get going.
It's now a 14-2 run for Campbellsville, dating back to the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. And at some point, you have to think Reagan Turner is just going to decide enough's enough and going to try and take things over. Instead, she just throws it away again. Pedigo all alone as no one gets back for Lindsey Wilson. And things breaking down in a hurry for the Blue Raiders. Just another careless giveaway there from Reagan Turner. And then nobody for Lindsey Wilson tries to get back to challenge Pedigo.
This keeps going on for a couple more minutes, Jason. Campbellsville's going to put this one away in the third quarter.
They nearly have another steal there, and you can sense in these situations Campbellsville is smelling blood right now. They're going for the kill right here, even though we're only 3 minutes into the third quarter. The way they're playing right now, and also the way Lindsey Wilson's allowing the pace to be dictated to them, you feel like the opportunity is there.
I think that it's more of Lindsey Wilson just being too soft. That pass from Reagan Turner had no oomph behind it, right? You have to have a little bit of purpose when you're tossing that ball. Otherwise, you're going to get your pocket picked. And you nearly saw Sammy Rogers take it all the way back there for 2 had her shoelace not been on the line.
6:45 to go in the half. Again, go back to 2 minutes to go in the first half. It was 30-26 in favor of Campbellsville. So you're talking about a 16-2 run in a matter of just over 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 15 seconds, as a matter of fact.
3 of the 5 starters for Lindsey Wilson are out right now. So something to keep an eye on while Coach John B. Wethington has a little conversation. And there's another turnover.
14th turnover for the Blue Raiders. And now they'll look to see if they can get a stop here against Campbellsville. Shepard, book it.
Madison Shepard, too pure there. I know she's a good defensive tone setter, but you give her that kind of room, and good things are going to happen.
And parental genetics coming through on that shot. It looked pure. It is now a 19-2 run for Campbellsville in the last 5.5 minutes. 19-2 spurt, and Lindsey Wilson right now continues to be its own worst enemy. This has been a matchup over the last several years that has favored Campbellsville for reasons like this. Their spurt ability and their ability to continue to force turnovers. Natalie Pierce into the game for the first time for the Blue Raiders on the opposite side, number 5. Ison, good pass out. Turner, boy, did they need that one to go down.
In the worst way. And that's the thing. They were able to get it done without Reagan Turner being the main point of that offense. She just sealed the deal.
Turner into double figures now with 10. 49-31 in favor of Campbellsville. Pritchett, I thought she was going to let that fly. Instead, hands off to Shepard, and now back. Gregory, no, and Glover pulls down her 11th rebound. Campbellsville more than comfortable with letting Lindsey Wilson burn time around the perimeter like this, and now Rogers deflects that one away. You can't assume anything offensively against Campbellsville, and now we have a shift change as 5 new players come in for the Tigers.
Got to be pleased with that platoon play, though, for platoon number 1 in that quarter as they were able to extend this lead. I mean, currently up by 18 right now, halfway through the third quarter. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Campbellsville.
Lauren Lee, Faith and Lexi Lake in as Hall's 3 rims out. The rebound pulled down by McGeorge. Also Sutton into the game for the first time here in the third quarter. 5:20 to go, all Campbellsville. Here is Sutton. Right side is open. That's poked away by Jackson, but Sutton chases it down in the corner. Nowhere to go with it, and eventually deflected to McGeorge, and Campbellsville will take a timeout. Good timeout there from Ginger Colvin from the bench. Little disjointed offensively.
You got them. You may as well use them. I mean, right now they're leading big about halfway through the third quarter. It doesn't seem like it's going to come down to a situation where they need to stop the clock, right? Moreover, they're probably going to be wanting more of that clock to be ticked off as we go through this game. But I think that's a great call by Colvin, and we'll see what the Tigers can do after they regroup.
The Mid-South Conference would like to thank more of our 2021 championship partners, including Rafferty's, Corner Bakery Cafe, and Double Dogs, MMI Dining Services, State Farm Insurance with DJ Clement as the agent, Wendy's of Bowling Green, H&W Sports Shop, and Leachman GMC Buick Cadillac. This is the second semifinal of the day in the women's tournament. The winner advances to tomorrow evening's championship, where the Thomas More Saints, the number 1 team in the tournament and the country, will be waiting. The Thomas More Saints hold Shawnee State to its lowest offensive output of the season. Thomas More into the final by way of a 57-47 win, and they will await the winner of this one. Of course, we touched on at the top of the broadcast, Campbellsville's lone loss of the season was to Thomas More. Lindsey Wilson, the only team in America to beat Thomas More on the season. So either way, someone's looking for revenge in the title game tomorrow night.
And the amazing thing about that win that Lindsey Wilson had against Thomas More, they did that without Reagan Turner. Some things just don't make sense.
No, it does not. McGeorge lost it, and look what I found, Lexi Lake. And right now, when you're making things go your way, you get the bounce, and Sutton couldn't get the bounce on that 3, but there is Lexi Lake to grab the offensive rebound. Reload, and the 3 is not there. Turner eventually pulls it down for the Blue Raiders, and it's just her second rebound. Jackson stops in the lane out wide. Glover will let a 3-ball fly. Line drive, no good. Lindsey Wilson now 3 of 9 from downtown. They're the 4th best three-point shooting team in the country, but not looking for the three-point shot here in this game. That's going to have to change as we go along here in the third and into the fourth.
Got to start scoring in bunches, and Bree Glover, she's matching that total as we get a kick ball there on Lindsey Wilson. She's matching the average, at least for the rest of her team. She's 1 for 3 on the day from deep. But the thing I like about her is that every one of her shots, A, have they've been open, and B, they've been online. Just one of them's gone in. But I think that she can still continue to shoot confidently as long as Campbellsville gives her space.
Ball inside to Faith Lake, and she gets called for a double dribble. One of the things we've really not seen from Lindsey Wilson offensively is Bree Glover down on the block. Now, that's not necessarily a staple to Lindsey Wilson offense, but I think she's got an opportunity right there to set up in that situation, especially right now with McGeorge and Sutton, the 2 primary defenders on her, you would think, in that possession. But first of all, Lindsey Wilson's got to get it into the front court, and they do with Ison. 4:10 to go in the third. The Blue Raiders still trailing by 18. Jackson nowhere to go, and the shot clock now down to 10. Ison going to try with her left hand, back out to Hall. Turner, 3-ball. Off the front iron. Good rebound inside by McGeorge as she rips that one down, and Campbellsville is off and running with Lauren Lee. Faith Lake to her sister Lexi. The 3 rolls out, and Turner has the board. And now a chance here. See if she can push it before the defense gets set up. Hall doesn't want a 3-pointer there as Lake closed out late. Glover, some 30 feet from her basket, out to Hall. Now she gets space, way too strong. And eventually, though, hustles for the rebound. Good play there. And Jackson, the far side, can't handle the pass on what would have been an easy lay-in. The 16th Blue Raider turnover. And again, not one forced by Campbellsville. Jackson just stone hands on the play.
They did, yeah, exactly. And that was a good look by Hall to get that offensive rebound and immediately looking down toward the low post. But honestly, Campbellsville, they need to close out on that. I mean, that was too long of an offensive rebound for a guard. You got to keep those guard rebounds to a pure minimum.
Lindsey Wilson now 1 of 5 from the field with 4 turnovers here in the third quarter. 3 minutes to go. McGeorge inside, fouled by Glover. And I think just a frustration foul in that instance from Bree Glover. Just nothing going the Blue Raiders' way right now. And Ashley McGeorge will step to the foul line. She is a 64% shooter on the year. Olivia Perry now comes in for Bree Glover.
If Lindsey Wilson's going to make any kind of comeback here, they're going to need Bree Glover along the way. So get her a little bit of a break and get her back here maybe before the end of this third quarter. We'll wait and see what Coach Wethington's got.
McGeorge hits the first free throw, her first point of the day. I think if you're Lindsey Wilson right now, if you can somehow get this deficit under 15 heading to the fourth, you at least give yourself a shot at it as McGeorge goes 1 for 2. So now Lindsey Wilson trails by 19 with less than 3 minutes to go. That's a bad place to pick up your dribble there if you're freshman Sydney Hall. Haley Eisen, she turns it over. 16 Lindsey Wilson turnovers. Lexi Lake doesn't pull the trigger there. Out. Sutton will let it fly. Bingo.
Ball movement looking like the Campbellsville that we all know and love. Great job there.
18 points off of 16 turnovers, make it 17 turnovers. Sutton, I thought she was going to let it go again. And she'll reset out to Lauren Lee with 20 on the shot clock. She'll let it fly. In again. Sutton now with 11. It's a 25-point lead. And Coach John Wethington will spend another timeout. And right now, Lindsey Wilson is overmatched.
Yes, they are, Jason. They held with them throughout about maybe 18-ish minutes of this ball game, but you can only keep Campbellsville down for so long before they explode. This game now down 25 are the Blue Raiders. I don't see them coming back and beating the number 3 team in the nation here today.
26-5 run in the last 10 minutes, dating back to late second quarter. An unbelievable run. And you look at the body language right now, seeing Lindsey Wilson walk off the floor, they look defeated right now. We still have 12 minutes of game action to go. You got to get back up in this. And I think that's part of the reason why you're seeing a timeout right here from Coach Wethington, trying to stress to his team, we still have time. Yes, we're in a big hole here against a terrific team, but we can't give up at this point. I think right now that's as much a timeout to try and get the body language to change for the Blue Raiders.
Here in the Mid-South's Studel Financial Arena in Bowling Green, Kentucky, they've got quotes all around. One of them's, "A champion is someone who gets up when he can't," by former champion boxer Jack Dempsey. I think this is one of those situations where Lindsey Wilson can't, right? Can they overcome their can't in this situation and get back into it and at least make this a closer game right now? 25 points does not show, I think, how good Lindsey Wilson is. I think what it does show is how tenacious Campbellsville is all the way through.
Glover inside, a lot of contact, and the whistle comes as Sutton will be whistled for her first foul. It's the first foul of the quarter against Campbellsville, and give credit to the officiating crew here in this game. There's been a lot of bumping and banging really all over the floor. By and large, they've let it play, and they've stayed consistent with that from the tap.
They've played it pretty even all the way through. I've had no complaints for our officiating staff here today. Fantastic stuff.
Bree Glover, just her 5th point. She's made just 1 basket today. It was a 3-pointer. That was back in the first half. She now has 6 points. Still a game-high 10 rebounds by the official count. 1:50 to go. 56-33. Here is Lee. Sutton feeling it. She is on a run here in the quarter. Sarah Sutton with 8 in the quarter. She now has 13 points in this third quarter. Right now it is Sarah Sutton 8. Lindsey Wilson sitting on 5. Turner can't get that one to go, and McGeorge rips down the board and Fighting for it is Rosemary Jackson, but a little too aggressive, and Rosemary Jackson is called for her third foul. And it's the team's third of the quarter.
Yeah, a little aggressive there, maybe a little frustrated, but a little frustration might be able to turn into some energy. But, again, not a lot of time, just 11 and a half minutes for the Blue Raiders. This one's – they start getting into that fourth quarter, down 25 with maybe 7-8 minutes left. Yeah, you can write this one off and put a stamp on it.
And what Campbellsville's been able to do here the last few minutes, they've been able to extend this lead with their second unit on the floor. It has not been the starting unit these last few minutes that have helped push this lead out to 25. And that's the scary thing going forward, not only into tomorrow's title game against Thomas More, should Campbellsville advance at this point, but also into the NAIA tournament, where Campbellsville will assuredly be a number one seed. McGeorge inside, walled up by Glover, and Bree Glover pulls down another rebound. Good look near side. Again, Oldham doesn't take a wide open three.
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm not quite sure. Maybe looking for a better opportunity, but you might be waiting a long time for that.
Nobody within 10 feet of her on that instance. Glover near side, Oldham. Now trying to fight through three Campbellsville Tigers and can't get that one to go. There's Stevens inside, and she'll go to the foul line.
Good work there by Stevens to pick up that rebound and quickly get it up through the contact. And we'll see if, again, she can get this, you were hoping at least that they'd be able to make it a 15-point game, but now trying to make it just under a 25-point game. Tough luck. First one's good, though.
77% shooter is Stevens. First point of the half. She has 5 in total. One more here for the freshman. And puts it in. Just the 6th and 7th points of the quarter for the Blue Raiders. They are minus 11 here in the third. Now go to a 1-2-2 zone. This is Faith Lake on the near side. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Shot and game clock about 2 seconds apart. Sutton feeling hot. Couldn't get that bounce. Lee tapped that inside to McGeorge. First effort not there, and she is fouled on the floor.
Tenacious effort by McGeorge, not letting the first miss get to her. And she's going to be awarded with a couple of chances at the free throw line. No scratch at an inbound pass. They got one more at least to get to the bonus.
And it is the 4th foul, Lindsey Wilson. So 13 seconds left. The shot clock now off. Campbellsville can take it all the way down if they so choose. Sutton posting up down low on Ison. Lee can't get it to her. Lee up and under, and she will be fouled, and a bailout foul with 1.7 on the clock. And Reagan Turner is called for her third. And Lauren Lee will go to the foul line. It's not often you see a freshman willing to take on the Mid-South Conference Player of the Year, but she was the more aggressive of the two on the play. In her trip to the foul line, she'll try and salvage the back end. Way too strong. Ison pulls it down, and the third quarter comes to an end, and Campbellsville has put its stamp on this game and have put themselves 10 minutes away from a trip to the Mid-South Conference title game as Campbellsville outscores Lindsey Wilson 18-7 in the third quarter and have turned this game into a rout as Campbellsville leads the 11th ranked team in the country, Lindsey Wilson, 58-35 at the end of 3. Wendy's was founded in 1969 by Dave Thomas in Columbus, Ohio. Dave built the business on the premise, quality is our recipe, which remains the guidepost of the Wendy's system. Wendy's is best known for its made-to-order square hamburgers using fresh and never frozen beef, freshly prepared salads, other signature items like that awesome chili, wonderful baked potatoes, and who doesn't love a Frosty? I know Nate's been on those since we've been down here in Bowling Green.
Couple of times.
The new jalapeno popper chicken sandwich and salad, a new one for folks to check out. It brings Wendy's fans a bold, innovative flavor they cannot get anywhere else. Each bite is graced by the perfect balance, creamy, cheesy goodness, and that delectable crispy crunch topped with an unbeatable kick from those jalapenos that'll have your taste buds thanking Wendy's.
Yeah, Campbellsville runs away with this one, I think. They got 10 minutes left. Honestly, it would take a miraculous effort from someone like, the Player of the Year. If only Lindsey Wilson had. Wait a minute. They've got Reagan Turner still on their team. If indeed there was one player that could pull you back into this one, it would be Reagan Turner. And thankfully, she doesn't have to do it alone, right? She's got great weapons on their team. They just have to start putting things together. And at least being a tournament team, go out of this game, win, lose, it doesn't matter. Come away with a little bit of momentum going into the national tournament.
Pedigo gets called there for the infraction there on the walk. Lindsey Wilson in that third quarter from the field, 1 for 9 with 7 turnovers that led to 12 Campbellsville points. Campbellsville had 5 more points off turnovers than Lindsey Wilson had total points. I mean, you do the math there. 2/3 of Campbellsville's points in the third quarter came off of Lindsey Wilson turnovers. Stevens thought about it from the elbow. Good challenge by Pritchett as the starting lineup for Campbellsville is back into the game. Stevens, nice move. Well done on the baseline, Jordan Stevens.
Finding space there on the baseline, making a 21-point game. It's not a great start, but it's good of a start as any.
You got to start somewhere if you're going to try and come back here. And I'm wondering at what point will Lindsey Wilson start to extend its defense off of a made basket to see if they can speed Campbellsville up. Campbellsville has just 9 turnovers in the game. Pritchett, boom. Did not score in the third quarter. Didn't really see the ball or the floor a lot in the third. She now has 19 on another made 3. That is her 4th 3 of the night. Again, she only had 6 made 3s all year coming into the game. Gregory forcing a near turnover. Glover down the lane, out to Turner.
You got to hit that extra pass to Oldham in the corner. I know she hasn't shot a lot of threes here today, even though she's been open, but again, here in the fourth quarter, it's do or die time.
And I wonder if Turner recognizing that Oldham's been unwilling to do it. Now the shot clock winding down, and Stevens just threw it away right to Madison Shepard. The 19th Lindsey Wilson turnover, and Sammy Rogers has an easy lay-in. That is the wrong place to pick up the ball anytime, especially against a defense as good as Campbellsville. And now 24-3 points off turnovers favor the Tigers in this game. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, the lead's up to 26, and Stevens nearly turned it over again.
Perfect example of Stevens there in the corner of throwing it out of bounds would have been better than what happened right there. Either that you can put up a shot, which you didn't have a very good look at, obviously, or you just literally throw the ball out of bounds, let your defense get reset. Otherwise, you're giving Rogers literally a free 2.
Here is Reagan Turner, just 10 points in the game, but she is the high scorer for the Blue Raiders. Oldham had that pass deflected, and Rogers now and Jackson go down to the floor to be a tie-up, and Lindsey Wilson will keep it. I think they may talk to see if Rogers had possession on that, and which would result in a shot clock reset. And they will indeed reset the shot clock back to 30 for the Blue Raiders, as they did determine Sammy Rogers had possession of it before Jackson tied her up. So a full shot clock here for the Blue Raiders. You know, this was a game coming in. Lindsey Wilson ranked 11th in the country. If they win this game and potentially beat Thomas More, as Shepard bumps Turner down. Good sportsmanship to help her up there. This Lindsey Wilson team, you win this game and potentially win against Thomas More, you could sneak up onto that one line and be the number 1 seed at one of those 8 host sites. But not going to happen now, as Lindsey Wilson will, after this game, await their tournament selection fate again. They're solidly in the field. That won't be a problem. They're going to cause some major waves in the NAIA tournament for sure, especially facing opponents who have never seen Reagan Turner before. 26-point lead for Campbellsville. Hall in the lane. There you go.
The soft touch there, like what I'm seeing out of the freshman today. She's shown a little bit of confidence standing in the way of the giant that is Campbellsville.
Very comfortable she was against Pikeville, anything but today, though she does have 6, her first points of the second half. 7:25 to go. Gregory at the top, working around McGeorge, now hands it off to Ashley McGeorge. Now Pedigo.
Comfortable against Campbellsville is a very relative term.
Comfortable doesn't exist against Campbellsville unless you put the 2 letters UN in front of it. And now Gregory with the bucket. She has 7, her second field goal of the half. 65-39 with 7 minutes to go. Turner on the far side, wide open, got a clean look and left it short. Chased her own board down and went into the body of Sammy Rogers and couldn't get it up on the rim. And now a scrum for it. Eventually Reagan Turner finds it and can't put it in, but she is fouled. Campbellsville contingent across the way. Wanted a foul call there on Turner. Pedigo is called for her second. Team's second of the quarter. Campbellsville, really the closest. They and Lindsey Wilson, the two closest schools geographically here to Bowling Green. So they have had the largest fan contingents here. And of the two, Campbellsville has been the more dominant as far as fan support here in Bowling Green. They have been fantastic in support of their Tigers, and they've been rewarded with two fantastic performances thus far in the Mid-South Conference title tournament, and they'll be looking to be back here tomorrow for the title game, and barring something crazy here in the final 6:45, they will get their wish. Lindsey Wilson now into a 2-3 zone as we approach 6:30 to go, 65-41 in favor of Campbellsville, who has the ball. Maddie Boyle with it in the game for the first time. Now Pedigo near side to Shepard. Shot clock now under 10. Now ticking to 5. Madison Shepard, 3, no, too strong. Rogers can't chase it down, and Lindsey Wilson will get it.
Yeah, that championship matchup going to be a fun one. Obviously, Campbellsville last year feeling the sting of losing to Thomas More in the semifinals, really feeling snubbed that they weren't able to get to that conference championship game to take on Shawnee last year, and then losing again here in the regular season. I think a little bit of revenge is just what the doctor from Campbellsville has ordered. Nice bucket there by Jackson.
Amazing what we're going to get in the conference title game. The number 1 team in the country against the number 3 team in the country. And we'll see how the bracket's set up, but it may not be the last time they see each other in this season. They could very well meet very deep in the national tournament out in Sioux City, Iowa, as a tie-up on the floor. And Rogers a little slow to get up. She's okay, though, and she'll come out, and wouldn't be surprised if it's for the final time here tonight. Quiet night for Sammy Rogers, just 4 points, but she has not really had to carry the load as Courtney Pritchett had her best game of the season here tonight with 19 points. Sutton also has been picking up the slack for Rogers. She now has 16 points here in the ball game. And for Sarah Sutton, that is a new career high at Campbellsville. Oldham to the near corner. Hall wide open. Good ball movement that time for Lindsey Wilson in the zone. And Sydney Hall has her first 3 of this semifinal after hitting 7 in the quarterfinal win over U-Pike. She now has 9 points.
She's going to be an electrifying player for the Blue Raiders for years to come.
Sutton down low, tied up with Jackson, and Lindsey Wilson will get it on the alternating arrow.
Into the game for the Blue Raiders, number 00, Jordan Stevens.
Fitting that we're going to get a Thomas More Campbellsville final here, and I don't think there's any question that they've been the 2 best teams in the league all year long. Lindsey Wilson a step behind there, and of course Lindsey Wilson will make an argument to that point as they did beat Thomas More. But all in all, the consistency of the play, the high level of the play, very, very fitting that these 2 teams are going to meet in the championship tomorrow night.
Starts at the top also. You know, you look at these 2 head coaches between Coach Hands for Thomas More, the Mid-South Coach of the Year and a well-deserving candidate at that, and, of course, Coach Colvin for the Campbellsville Tigers. Those are 2 of the best. Some people would say the 2 best coaches in not just the Mid-South, but the entire NAIA. And right now a 1-3 final here in the conference, not even the national championship, as that bucket is knocked in by McGeorge. I love the Mid-South and all of the tough opponents that it brings. It's almost, I'm not surprised that it's a 1-3 in the final, right? It would, and you know what? And to be honest, if Lindsey Wilson had made it today, I wouldn't have been that surprised either. That's just how tough this conference is.
You're talking 1-3. We're not talking conference seeds. We're talking national rankings. You talk about those 2 head coaches, Ginger Colvin and Jeff Hands, in combined 24 seasons of head coaching. Their record is about 500 games above 500. Amazing what those 2 have done. 2 of the best coaches, as you said, in America. And Coach Colvin liking what she's seeing from Ashley McGeorge, doing some work inside as Bree Glover called for her 4th as we have a timeout on the floor. 3:50 remaining and what has turned into a Campbellsville romp here in the second half. The Tigers leading the Blue Raiders 72-46. There's no denying that cyber criminals are constantly evolving. They always seem to find a way to steal their next victim's personal information and commit fraud, well before that person is aware it's even happening. Take advantage of all your debit card benefits by enrolling in Fork Bank's MasterCard ID Theft Protection Program. Visit them online at forkbank.com. That is FORCHT bank.com. Also looking forward here in Bowling Green to the men's semifinals, which we'll have a little bit later on here. I think everybody right now looking to see what Shawnee State does in the semifinal after a pretty comfortable win in the opening round over Cumberland. They'll take on a very, very game Martin Methodist team, an undersized Martin Methodist team, but how dominant were they against Cumberland's, I should say, in the quarterfinal round. And then the nightcap, Georgetown and Thomas More for the third time, as the Saints will look to beat Georgetown for the third time this season. No, Thomas More is new to the league. That's a rarity for somebody to take out Georgetown for the third time this season. We've got two outstanding men's semifinals to come a little bit later on here on the Mid-South Sports Network.
That's right, that first matchup between Big Bad E.J. Onu and company. We've been talking a lot about how Onu's got probably the best pro prospect, at least in the NAIA, probably across the board, standing at 6'11". And he can shoot the rock as well after that free throw goes in. But that's going to be a classic size versus speed matchup here coming up after this game.
Yeah, Martin Methodist in that one. If they're going to have a chance against Shawnee, they're going to have to hit a lot of threes in that game. And for the second semifinal for Georgetown's men's program, as Stevens is short on the three here, got to be able to score the basketball. In two games against Thomas More during the regular season, the Tigers averaged just 51 points per game. That's how good Thomas More's defense is. It's been the best, among the best in the country the last 2 years since Thomas More moved from Division III to the NAIA. So we'll be looking forward to that a little bit later on.
Those Georgetown Tigers, though, never can count them out. Still the defending NAIA national champions. Don't forget that pedigree, at least. And they're so well coached. Coach Briggs and company are just a wonderful, wonderful rock here in the Mid-South for not just the players on Georgetown, but really everyone in the conference can kind of depend on them to pull through for the Mid-South when the chips are down.
Georgetown won a classic against Pikeville in the quarterfinal round, 76-74. Thomas More, pretty easy work in their quarterfinal round to advance there. And a dangerous play there as Sutton spilled right over the top of Turner. Thankfully, both are okay, and that's the last thing you want to see here in the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds is for anyone to get banged up, because both of these two teams have bigger aspirations than just the conference tournament ahead of them. They both feel they can make runs in the national tournament. Oldham finally pulls a trigger on a three and puts it in. It's her first points of the game on now 1 of 6 shooting, 73-49 with 2:05 to go. And now we've got a rolling timeout here as Campbellsville will get some subs into the game. Gracie Thompson in, the 5'4 freshman out of Greensburg, making her 13th appearance of the season, and also Ashanti Gore checking in. She is a 5'11 freshman from Glasgow. It's her 15th appearance of the season. 2 minutes remaining here in this semifinal. It was close for about 18 minutes, and then Campbellsville put their foot down on the gas and blew this game wide open. Maddie Boyle knocks down a three, just her third three of the season. The sophomore from Milledgeville on the board, 76-49 with 100 seconds to go. Hall to try to answer. There you go. The one saving grace Lindsey Wilson was well aware of going forward into the national tournament. They're not going to see a press defense like this against Campbellsville more than likely when they get to the national tournament. Of course, the two opening round games, you got to get through those to get to Sioux City, Iowa, but Lindsey Wilson has the talent to get there as Lexi Lake hits a three, her first points of the day. She averages 10 a night, but it really hasn't had the opportunities in this one. And another three goes down for Campbellsville. It is their 12th. Oldham, back-to-back.
And I know we've been kind of tough on Oldham today. We've been just begging her up here in the broadcast booth to shoot the rock. Honestly, down by 24, that wasn't going to be the difference maker in the ball game. But it's those little things, right, that you have to be perfect on if you're going to knock off a team like number 3 Campbellsville.
And you'll get more comfortable opportunities going forward in the national tournament as well. As Oldham's a very, very talented player, and just the toughness of this Campbellsville defense can make it hard for anybody. Can take anybody out of their offensive game. As Gracie Thompson a little too strong on that one. Boyle on the weak side puts it in. Maddie Boyle now with 5 here in the waning moments. 25 seconds to go. Hall will let it fly. Not there. Good rebound inside by Perry. Tough jumper not there. Reagan Turner. Yep, and we'll go to the line. Turner is a senior, has the option to come back next year, as the NAIA granted all winter sport athletes a free year of eligibility, so she will not be charged with another year. She could come back for essentially a second senior season, a 5th year, if she chose to. She hits the free throw here. She now has 13 points. In either case, if it is the final time we see her here on the Mid-South Sports Network, she's leaving Lindsey Wilson as the all-time leading scorer. And she will be a player that is, I believe, despite the result here today, she is going to cause some major damage in the national tournament, as is this Lindsey Wilson team. This result today, not indicative of the talent Lindsey Wilson has. They just ran into a buzzsaw in Campbellsville in the second half.
Indeed, guards win in March, and today the myriad of guards that are very long, right? Guard/forward flex players for Campbellsville pulled out the victory as they win convincingly.